Let us talk about this woman that whose life gets taken, and the story starts with this thing of online dating called Tinder. Now, I know, one will say, this thing of online dating is not the right thing, but maybe because of the world we live in, it becomes the only solution. However, allow me to unpack this. As reported by Crime SA, they are saying Tinder serial rapists arrested. The Provincial Commissioner of the Police in Limpopo, Lieutenant General Tembi Hatebe, has cautioned the community members, especially women, to be very careful when using dating sites because they might fall victims of crime. This warning comes after members of Limpopo Tracking Team, Limpopo Provincial Investigation Unit, Silverton Detectives, Tshwane FCS, and Tshwane District Detectives arrested a 37-year-old male suspect for over 10 cases of rape and murder that were reported at Eastern Rush policing area in Gauteng province. The suspect was arrested during a joint operation conducted between the evening of Sunday, the 3rd of August 2025, and early hours on Monday, 4 August 2025, at Matzen village under the Monkweng policing area in Limpopo area. Right. Wait for it, it's coming. But I want, for a moment, I wanna continue with the story. But for a moment, I want you to think of things on this perspective. We're living in a world where our world is on the phone. We somehow are becoming antisocial. So, despite the danger that this online dating sites poses, despite that danger, I want you to think of it this way. How are we going to find people when we are slowly but surely becoming antisocial individuals? We could be in the same place, but people are busy on their phones. So it just explains that being together doesn't necessarily mean together, because we could be together while busy on our phones. With that being said, let's proceed. According to information, the suspect utilized a Tinder dating site to lure his victim to his residency in Easterus, Pretoria, Gauteng province. He allegedly raped some of his victims until the recent incident wherein he raped and killed a victim, thereafter buried her in a shallow grave in his residency. The matter was brought to the police attention and massive investigations were conducted. You see, like I said, I'm trying to bring this attention. I'm trying to bring this element to attention. Some of you might say, but what are you doing on the online dating thing? The thing is, some people will say, I found love on Facebook. We saw each other on Facebook. Some will say it was a WhatsApp group that was created by church. That's how we found each other there. That's still an online platform. Some will say we found each other on Twitter, formerly X, formerly known as Twitter. We found each other on YouTube. We used to follow each other on YouTube. That's still an online platform. What I want you to understand is that, what is the problem? Is it because we meet people online, or it's something extra than that? Maybe let me ask the question this way. Now, take the group of people who meets people online and then look at things from this perspective. So you have this group of people who are dying because of the people they meet online. One. And then you go to now on the far right, you address this other group of people who they meet at church, at a club, wherever they meet, or they've known each other for a while, they date, but then still fall victim of the same, or their demise seems to be from the hands of the very same person. So then, when you contrast that, do you then say the problem is the online dating, or it's a moral problem? Pause. Just think about it. Is it the online platforms, or the problem is moral problem? And I've already qualified that by simply saying, people will argue and say there are people who get killed by people whom they grew up with, same village, same town, where same thing, they've known each other for a while, they met physically somewhere, and still fall victim of the very same crime. Today we have buried them. The numbers, does the number of people who were killed by people they met physically, they've known for a while, outweighs the number of people who were killed because of online dating? Just do this, or the vice versa. Before you can give your opinion about these online platforms. And I'm not saying I met my partner on online platforms, so I'm defending online platforms. No, and I'm going to tell you why I'm asking that question. But before, let's continue here. Woman was found buried in a shallow grave after Tinder meetup. Suspect arrested. Pretoria. The body of a 30-year-old Lovelessness Magabe was discovered buried in a shallow grave in an Eastern Mamelodi after she was reportedly missing by her friends earlier this week. Magabe, who had reportedly arranged to meet a man she met through the dating app Tinder, was last heard from shortly after arriving at Isteros, where she sent distressing messages to her friends expressing that she did not feel safe. Moment later, her phone was switched off, prompting her friends to report her missing at a Sunnyside police station. Following the intensive investigation, police arrested 37-year-old Asindro Helda in connection with the murder. It is understood that Helda was the individual Mugabe had gone to meet. Mugabe had gone to meet. Authorities have confirmed that that the suspect had also pending rape cases against him. Okay, this is the serial what. Now I want you to think of things this way. Because if you and I had to look at things from a moral standpoint of view, we cannot ignore the fact that there is success from people who met each other either at a workplace, church, bar, club, mall, however they met, but the meeting was not arranged through the social dating sites, but rather it was just maybe in a gathering or in a social environment where we met, we exchanged numbers, we started talking, and then we got to know each other. Maybe 6 months later we are dating, or we became friends and then dated. But then the same crime happens where this one takes the life of this one. Now, vice versa, this dating site. We must look at things, we must try and balance our approach there. Now, why I'm saying that? I've got a person, a good friend of mine, who met a woman, was a Tinder, I think so. She met the type of women that we all desire to have. A woman who will say, for instance, we are going out. A woman will say, okay, you've got a car, you'll be paying for that thing, the environment, or the hotel or whatever we're going. You know what, I'm paying for the petrol, I'm paying for the toll gate. She was like, you know what, this is a relationship, I'm contributing here. I'm not going to be just as a passenger in this relationship. I want to be a full-time participant. But he met such a woman in a Tinder platform. I think it's the paid version when he explains the story. Although later they separated, but even their separation, there's never been a horrible and ordeal. Even after their separation, they were still able to talk to each other like adults, although the intimate aspect of things have ended. So, with that being said, some will then come back or will bring such stories and say, but there are successful marriage that comes from these dating sites. I myself, I have no experience in such, so I wouldn't speak for it or against it. I'm just bringing this and say, let's balance the scale and look at, people who meet physically, exchange numbers, got to know each other, or growing up knowing the person or living in the same hood, whatever, versus the online sites. What poses threat between the two? That's the question of the day. Which one between the dating online thing versus this, which one poses threat or has a greater chances of you meeting your demise? Or tell me your thoughts and your comments in this comment section below. I'll see you in the next episode.